guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Gwen, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I am joining a readathon, and I'm very excited to be part of this. I found out about it a little bit late, so I spent yesterday scrambling to come up with books for my list and such. But I'm going to be joining into the Reading Quest. If you guys don't know what that is, it is a readathon that goes from August 13th till September 10th, and it is kind of like a reading RPG, which for me was really exciting. So you get to pick your character class and you follow along the line of certain books that go with said class. So I am doing the Mage Quest line, which starts down here and I go all the way up. Each box has a different type of book that goes along with it, and so I had to pick books that coincided with that. So the first box is a book with a one-word title, and I went with Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I have been wanting to read this book for quite a while. It's a epic fantasy type book, and I've had it on my shelf along with the second one for quite a while now, and I decided I'm going to try and dive into this one in this readathon. The next book on the quest chain is a book that contains magic. As a fantasy reader, most of my books qualify with this, but I had to narrow it down, so I went with a book that I recently bought, and I moved the camera, with a book that I recently bought that I'm really excited to dive into, and that is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. This was a cover buy at Barnes & Noble. I saw it, and this reminded me a lot of The Neverending Story, and it talks about magic, so I decided I was going to give this one a try. This is a new release by a new author, and this is actually, I think, her first book out, and she's already flying up the New York Times bestseller list, so I'm excited to join in on this journey that people are loving. The next book is a book that takes place with mythology. I was going to do the last Percy Jackson book originally, but I'm trying to read books that are not in my normal repertoire, I guess, or ones that I wouldn't normally pick up. So I got to go to the library the other day and I picked up a new book, and it is called Charming, and this is by Elliot James. This book is about a guy who runs from the Charming family. So, you know, all those Prince Charmings that we've always loved is this guy. And he gets trained by the Knights Templar. He's a dragon slayer and vampire slayer and witch slayer, and he's just kind of, it kind of reminded me of Grimm, so that's why I was kind of excited to pick it up. Plus, I have this obsession with Knights Templar, and so this was like the perfect book to kind of fade into that. I've already started this one because on the quest chain you're allowed to read the books in any order you want, and I decided that I was going to jump into the library book first since it's not one I actually own, and I wanted to make sure I got it through it. And I'm a few pages in, a couple chapters in right now, and 25 pages in, and I'm liking it. I don't know if that'll change. We'll find out. The next book is a book that takes place in another world. Again, fantasy. Many books I could pick from, but I'm attempting to finish the Throne of Glass franchise series before the new book comes out in September. Thought the readathon was the perfect time to do that, so I'm going to do Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third in the Throne of Glass series. This book is a monster. It's like over 500 pages, so this is a challenge for me, but I'm very excited to dive into it. Next book in the Mage Quest chain is the first book in a series, which was another difficult one because I have a lot of books that I want to read that are starts of series, so I had to narrow it down, and I have decided to go with Ever the Hunted by Erin Summermill. This is the start of a series, which I didn't realize when I first bought it, and I've been dying to read this book. Everyone's been talking about it on BookTube and on Twitter, and it seems like my kind of thing because she is kind of like a ranger. She hunts with a bow and arrow, and mystery and intrigue and fantasy, so I'm excited for this one. And then I picked one of my side quest books already that I'm going to do, and that is these little boxes in the middle here. They're actually blue, so if you look at my blog, you'll be able to see an actual picture of this without all my little sticky notes on it. But I decided to do, it was the Time Warp one, and it was a book that takes place either in the past or the future. And I decided to go with past, and I picked up a book that I have been really excited to dive into, and that is Alex and Eliza by Melissa de la Cruz. This is a loose adaptation of Alexander Hamilton and his relationship with Eliza, and I've decided that since I've been obsessed with the Hamilton soundtrack for quite a while now, that I may as well read this book. I got this one at the library, which I'm really kind of happy about because I'm not a big fan of Melissa's writing, but I'm kind of excited to read this one. So the readathon seems like the perfect time to do this. So my goal for the readathon is to read as many books as I can. As you can see, I filled out all of the little squares on my board. It's except for the middle one, which is the free read to read whatever I want, which will be great for when I need like a break. I doubt that I will get through all of those squares. I would like to, but I kind of was ambitious with my choices, and almost all of them are high fantasy or epic historical fictions, and they're all really long, so I doubt I'll be able to get through them, but I'm going to try. I'm going to hopefully blog once a week, and I will make sure there's the link to my blog down below. I will be tweeting a lot during it, but that is not going to be counting towards my like points and everything. And I'm going to try and do a video for YouTube at least once a week, maybe twice. We'll see how things go, but I'm very excited to be joining on this quest. I have a link to the actual quest chain down below if you want to follow along with us. The signups are probably already closed by the time this video gets up, but if you want us to follow along anyways, you may as well because it's a lot of fun. So I will see you guys in my next video. Just make sure you like and subscribe. Bye!